Welcome back. In the last step, we explained what compound interest is and how it helps to grow your money. Now, we're going to talk about time horizons and how different time periods impact risk. Many people consider the most responsible type of investing as having a long-term time horizon of 10 or more years. This means you should only invest money you won't need to touch in the next 10 years. To illustrate why time horizons are important, I'm going to share a story with you. At the time that I'm recording this, it's March 2021 and I'm in London. The UK is still in lockdown, but things should start reopening by this summer. I have a friend who was supposed to get married last year, but she had to postpone a year. Of course, when COVID started, none of us expected that a year later we would still be in the midst of a pandemic. But here we are, it's March, and her wedding is in August. Based on the current government plans, her wedding should be allowed to happen. But there's quite a bit of uncertainty if things will actually go according to plan. What if cases increase and lockdown is extended? What if another new variant shows up? It will be much harder for her to postpone her wedding again when it's only a month away. She decided to buy herself a bit more time. She postponed another year. It's more likely that in another 12 months, things will calm down and go back to normal. You're probably thinking, yeah, that's common sense. Why are you telling me this? Because when we think about time horizons with our investments, it really is all about the same common sense too. When you invest for the short term or with a short-term mentality, your risk that something will happen which will impact you and you won't have time to wait it out is higher. When something new and unusual happens, like a global pandemic or a stock market crash, history tells us that things will return to normal, eventually. This is called mean reversion, and it applies to basically everything in life, and especially the stock market. The problem is that we don't know exactly when things will return to normal, whether that's life as we know it pre-pandemic or when the stock market will get back on its normal track. For this reason, we almost always recommend investing with a long-term time horizon of more than 10 years if you can. It allows you to take more risk, which we'll talk about in the next step, because you're giving your money more time to recover in case something goes wrong. Earlier, we talked about how in the long term, the economy and the stock market tend to move with each other based on fundamentals. We also talked about how since 1920, the market has increased on average about 10% each year. Of course, the future is never 100% certain, but most people accept that over the long term, the market should continue to increase at some rate, even if not at 10%. When you invest with a short-term horizon, or anything under 5 years, your risk is higher that something will happen and your money won't have time to recover. But also, you expose yourself to short-term fluctuations that may not be based on fundamentals. We'll talk about this in the next step. In the last step, you also learned that compounding starts to work its magic with time. We saw that over 30 years, compound interest would more than quadruple your money compared to simple interest. When you invest with a short-term time horizon, you aren't giving compounding time to do its work, which, as we know, is the secret to making our money grow. The key takeaway from this step is that a long-term time horizon can minimize your risk, as it gives you more time to recover from downturns, as well as more time for compounding to work. But what is risk? What can happen? And are there any other ways we can control it? We'll talk more about that in the next step.